Hello everybody, my name is Caro Vargas. I love to read, and today I want to talk about an American writer that I personally liked a lot. Her name is Maya Angelou. I hope some of you already know her. She's an Afro-American writer. She's a black woman, and we'll talk about her life a little bit later. But she was born in a context where everything was against her, and still she made it up to really high levels. She made all sorts of things. She was a writer. She wrote essays, poetry, 7 autobiographies or memoirs. I'm gonna talk about 2, but 7 of them. And she did it more as an activism way to show the systemic racism in the US. Also, she was a dancer. She directed movies. She wrote a lot of stuff. I am surprised every time I read about her. I get more surprised. And the reason why I talk about her is because she's great, but also I love the way she does activism. She was very vocal about rights, human rights for Black people in the US. And the way to do it, of course, was appearing in events, speaking up, but also her books are an extension of activism. So today I'm going to talk about these 2 memoirs. The order you should read is first this one, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and the second one, Mom, Me and Mom. And well, I read it in the other way around because that's the way they came to me. But this first book, it's from when she has her first memories until she's like 16 years old, and in that period of her life she lived in the south of the US. So imagine being a Black woman in that time there, and of course it was very difficult. And in the whole book you see that systemic racism in which all the time the message they get, either vocally or also in different non-direct ways, is that you are Black and you don't deserve anything else but living here, being poor, be surrounded by your people, not get to be in touch with nobody else, and that's it. If you get lucky, maybe you get to be a housemaid or something, and otherwise that's it. And I think that's for me, at least, that I'm Mexican, I don't live in the US, and probably I haven't heard that much as people from the US about this problem of racism. It was very shocking to see how it's a system, and how much it influences in the opportunities you have, in the future you will have. And it totally dismantles this way of thinking that you should work hard and then everything will come to you. It's not true, and you'll see it here in this book. All the opportunities, the education they get, the jobs they get, the violence they are exposed to, it's all related to the color of their skin. If they are Black, the message and the belief also from white people around them is that they don't deserve more than that. And you'll see it there. There's a chapter that was really shocking for me, in which they have a medical emergency, and this is about how your skin color also used to determines still the kind of medical treatment that you will get. They have a medical emergency, and of course in the surroundings, in the town, in the community, there's no one that can attend an emergency, because of course black people back then didn't have access to education. Of course there were no doctors, so they have to go to the other side of the town to ask for help to a white doctor, and the white doctor says, I'm not gonna do that. And the grandmother of Maya says like, hey, but please help me, this is an emergency. And the doctor says like, I'm not gonna do it. I rather put my hand in a dog's mouth than in treat your people that way. And across the book you'll see a lot of shocking things like that. The schools they got, the way they educate people. So in just to give an example, in white schools, because they were that segregated, they were preparing them to be scientists, to be, I don't know, astronauts, to be businessmen, to be a lot of things. And the preparation they used to get in the Black schools was just to be either a housemaid, or just to be, I don't know, like something that you wouldn't get you a lot of money. Like it's very marked, and you'll see it here. It's very clear how it's not possible to succeed even if you tried hard. It is not possible, and Maya's case is an exception. It's not the rule that if you work hard you get to be someone, because the system is all against you. So that this really gives you a context about it. I would really recommend it. And the second book is around where she's like 14 years old onwards, until her mother passes away. And it's more introspective in that way. As I mentioned before, Maya didn't live with her parents, with her mom and her dad. When she was a kid, she started living with her mom when she was around, if I'm right, 13, 14 years old. And of course there's a lot of work and unsolved issues to solve, in that sense that you didn't live with your mom. She was feeling like her mom abandoned her. She has to fight with that feeling, but also she cannot deny that it's her mom, and she loves her, of course. And her mom is also very different from the system that Maya was used to, because in the South where she used to live, as I tell you, the message is you are not worth the effort. And her mom, that used to live in California, and not that California is super not racist at all, but at least it was more open-minded. So the context, the mindset of the mom was totally different from the grandma, which Maya Angelou wrote with. So at the end, there is a shock because she comes from a system, and then the mom has another way of seeing things. The mom was always like, I deserve more, I deserve to be respected, I deserve opportunities, I deserve money. So imagine these two systems collapsing when she's in her teenage years. That's totally a drama, as you can think. But it's also very interesting to see how her mom was the key person who developed the new Maya, the Maya that believed in herself, the Maya that knew she was worth the effort, the Maya that knew that doesn't, like, regardless her skin color, she could access to different things, she could try new things, and that was the initiative of her mom. So that's why the name of the book, of course, but that's also why this is so relevant, because even though it's an introspective book, you can also see how having someone that believes in you, that tells you that you're worth it, that tells you that you have rights, that tells you that you can aspire to more things, totally change your mind, especially when you're a vulnerable group, a vulnerable person. So I think those are really good books. I should read the rest of the biographies, but so far these are the two I have done. I hope you enjoy them.